Coach, congratulations getting to this point. Do you feel like now you're playing a little bit with house money, getting this far, and maybe being a little under the radar by some teams?
That's a good way to put it. I think we established a good rhythm on Thursday night, and we're able to carry that on into Sunday's match. And like I said before, I think traveling just up the road for a familiar environment was awesome. House money, yeah, I'm not going to Vegas. I don't think the odds are on us, but I bet on these guys. I put a scarf on the other day, and I said, I'm your best fan. I love coaching these guys, but now it's time. We've done our work for 4 years. There are a lot of seniors out there playing, and it's now just let them flow. And if you're a senior not playing with a chip, we don't have to win a 7-game series. We have to win one game. So we're going out to win one game.
So obviously Indiana being the top team in the country, what kind of challenge does that pose for you guys beyond the ranking? I mean, are they that good, or I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about the Big Ten soccer, so fill me in if you would.
Big Ten soccer, ACC soccer is good. That's why those teams are in it. A lot of respect for those teams. They've been there before. They were in the final last year, and they lost in overtime. I watched that game. I don't think I missed any Final Fours with the dream of trying to get there. So the dream's alive because we're still playing. A lot of respect for them. They had some players that could have went pro. I know there's MLS teams that were after a couple, and some of those players decided to stay because they want to win a national championship. But we just want to make it to one more round and one more game and take it game by game.
Will you guys leave Friday, or when will you leave?
Yeah, we're going to leave Friday in the noontime. We'll train here in the morning. So we're going to train the next 3 days in the morning, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, get on a plane and get out there and have one training session out there. I think it's raining out there on Saturday, and the game got moved to 12 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday.
Okay. David, did you think that you'd be practicing or training, as you guys call it, on Thanksgiving when the season started?
Yes and no. I think it was always a goal for us, and in some ways I would say we expected it to an extent, but it's obviously a great opportunity for all of us, and it's the best possible way to be missing Thanksgiving break. So,
what's the biggest difference for this club this year? Why have you guys reached all the way to the Sweet 16?
I think a lot of it's chemistry, and then the fact that we're just older. We have a lot of seniors this year, and like Coach always says, it's as the team goes as the seniors go, and I think having 8 or 9 seniors on the team really helps, and that makes a huge difference.
So Clint, I guess, do you guys embrace that kind of underdog mentality, or are you going into these matches feeling like, hey, we belong and we're as good as anybody, I guess?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd say our best advantage right now is that we have no pressure. We're not expected to be in the Sweet 16. It hasn't happened in over 20 years, I think. So I'd say that's our best advantage right now, is that none of the pressure's on us. We can go out there and play our game, have fun, and all the pressure's on the teams that we're facing. So they're the ones who are expected to do the big things, not us. But if we can flip the odds on that, by all means.
Is that something, I think there's been one Air Force team that's made it to the national quarterfinals. Is that something now that's motivating you guys to, you've got the program record for wins in a season is now this kind of one last thing, like we can match that. I think it's the 93 team.
Yep, of course. Obviously the goal is always to take this program to the next level. And that's something that would essentially put us on the next level and give other teams in the future years something to push beyond. And that class, that achievement by that team is something that every team beyond that is looking to achieve. So if we could, then that would be something else.
And David, it seems like you've been tasked with kind of marking some of the other team's top strikers. Going into those kind of assignments, how well prepared do you feel after dealing probably with guys like Clint and Tucker and Austin on a daily basis, I guess?
Oh, that's a huge advantage. Huge advantage for us getting to train against some of the best players I believe in the country, and just learning some of those little tricks and learning the things they do in practice every day gives me a big advantage because then I know what to look for. And our coaches also do a great job giving me a good scout anytime I'm matching up with somebody like the striker last game of what to look for. It's a big advantage.
And Doug, is there one thing, when you look at Indiana, is there one thing that really jumps off the page, like, all right, this is why they're a top team in the country?
They have a pretty complete club, so they wouldn't have got to where they're at without having that. They're probably feather in their cap is they were in that. They've gone through this whole experience to the finals last year. So some guys stayed around just because they're like, we got to win this. like Quinn said, the pressure's on them a little bit, and I think that's good sometimes because you can just show and flow. We do recognize they have some great outside backs that attack a lot. We're going to have to deal with that threat. But the opposite of that is I think we have some good threats going forward, and they have to maintain our outside mids and our forwards and our pressure we put on them because we've been pretty effective. How long can we keep that high energy pressure going? And like I said, we're playing one game.
Is there any temptation to maybe sit a little deeper and pick your spots more, or do you want this team to kind of come out flying with that high pressing line that's got you this far?
You know, what got us here is we're going to continue, I think. Are we going to adjust certain things? Maybe with certain personnel and certain where they track inside or outside and where they attack from. My assistant coach is doing an outstanding job, doing a tremendous scout on these teams. I watch it and then listen and I go, yep, they're right on. Let's go with this. And then we kind of make some key adjustments and keep with our game plan. How do we get here? By scoring goals. We need to continue to score goals. I tell it the last 3 times I put up on the board for the guys is, you know, defense wins championships, but goals win games. And I think we can do both.
David, your dad was part of some pretty special moments as an Air Force athlete. Is there any conversation going into these kind of matches, or is there any advice he lends to you, or is it kind of different sports? You've got soccer figured out.
He always gives me advice. You know, there's obviously those, especially mental attributes in sports that translate across all sports. So he's always giving me advice going into these big games. Usually it's just, you know, stay calm, relaxed, make sure you're focusing at big moments and things like that. But yeah, I enjoy talking to him about it because he's been through a lot of the same type of thing. So
For Dave and Clint, you guys are upperclassmen. Whether it continues after Sunday, whether it ends Sunday, how important is it for you guys to kind of start this legacy of Air Force soccer, making an annual trip to the NCAA tournament, and not only just getting in, but reaching as far as the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 and so on and so forth for you guys?
I think honestly it's something like you've always wanted to do. I mean, that's the goal of every program, is to make continual trips deep into the tournament, and to be able to start that legacy is just such an awesome opportunity, and we hope that it carries on long after we're gone. And you know, they talk about the long blue line here a lot with just the academy, but there's something like that in soccer, and we're close with all our alumni, and to be a big part of that is just an incredible experience.
Yeah, to tail off of David, I'd say a lot of what happens behind the scenes that a lot of the media and you don't get to see beyond the game field is how hard we work in practice and pushing those younger guys to meet our level and to meet the levels that we want to make it to. And that comes with playing all the time off season, whether that's in the racquetball rooms playing futsal or out on the fields playing 3v3. We're constantly trying to push these guys to make it to that next level, and they're doing a tremendous job, and they see the level that we've brought this program to, and they want to take it to that next level. So it comes from them, but it also comes from us opening their eyes to what this program really can reach.